What up, YouTube? It's NoChainzz, and I am back for another commentary, and this is the season wrap-up episode for the Cincinnati Bengals Connected Owner Mode here in Madden 25 for the PS3. And last week we defeated the bottom feeders of our division, the AFC North and the Cleveland Browns, to finish off our season. At 13-3, right behind us, right on our toes. On our heels, actually, are the Baltimore Ravens. And I just want to apologize in advance if you guys have any silent moments during this commentary. Whenever I do live comms with this software, it's just wacky. I don't know, but first things first, we're going to take a look at the matchups. Oh, let me not give any spoilers. Oh, man. We're going to take a look at the matchups for the playoffs. As you guys see, we get a first round bye, which is always good. And we finish off our season. Let's just take a look at our schedule. See how we did this year. And I think 2 of our losses were against division opponents, which is interesting. We defeated them, got out to a really hot start. Look at the start we had to the season. Started off 5-0. Then we lost to the Jags by 4 points. That was when we were having our QB controversy. Then we beat the Broncos, lost to the Ravens by 3, lost to the Steelers by 3, and we were done losing. So we finished the season. Oh, no, wait, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-game winning streak. So that's good going into the playoffs. You get a lot of momentum. So now that that's done, let's take a look at the playoff matchups. And I may simulate some of these so you guys can see the results at the end of the episode. So the Steelers at the Chiefs, that should be a good little matchup. Packers at Giants, those are always good games. Ravens and Texans, Falcons and Seahawks. I apologize for me not knowing who won the Super Bowl last year. I can't remember really. I'll have to look back at the videos. But those are the matchups. As you guys know, we get a first round bye. And let's just look at the standings, see who's going to be getting good draft picks and all that. So I'm going to try to keep this video less than 40 minutes like the other one was. So you guys see the Patriots technically had the best record in the NFL this year. But 13-3 for the Saints, 13-2-1 for the Patriots, 13-3 for us, of course, 12-4 for the Ravens, 11-5, not a bad year for the Skins. 11-5, not a bad year for the Packers. Chiefs, Falcons, solid. Giants, who tied with the Patriots, which is very weird considering their history. Seahawks, 10-6. Texans, 10-6. And Steelers, 9-7, who made the playoffs. So we had 3 playoff teams in this division. So we lost to 2 playoff teams, and then a team that was 7-9. As you guys see, the Jags, with their improvements on the offensive side of the ball, they only got to 7-9. But I think as Casey Pahal, as he improves, this team will as well. So 9-7, 2 teams with 2 winning records that did not make the playoffs: the Bills and the Lions. Bears 7-9. I know Brendan Brown wants to know how his Bears did. 49ers, after going 16-0, I guess they lost a lot of players and they went 7-9 this year. 7-9 for the Jets. 7-9 for the Colts. I'm just gonna let you guys look at these instead of reading them all off. Panthers 6-10. That's sort of weird. Cam Newton usually gets very good in these. Broncos 5-11 after the departure / retirement of Peyton Manning. Then you have the Browns, of course. 4-12 for the Chargers. So the worst team in the league this year is the Dallas Cowboys, which is weird. I think you just pretty much lose your title of America's team. So those are the standings. And let's look at the postseason stuff, like the MVP. As you guys see right here, Drew Brees won it. We got robbed. Giovanni Bernard didn't win it, and I'm sort of mad about that. And here's the buzz going around the league. We did get Coach of the Year from Marvin Lewis. I think that's well deserved, although he had a very talented team. And I was gonna say I want to say that he won it 2 years in a row, but I forgot Harbaugh won it last year. for us. Not for us in this franchise. Let's see what else they're talking about. Brandon Marshall going to the Pro Bowl. We're gonna look at all that. Who cares what these analysts have to say? Let's take a look at it ourselves. Where do I go for that? Where do I go? Oh, awards. Duh. Let's look at it. Yearly awards. I'm gonna go thoroughly through the AFC and very quickly through the NFC. So right behind Drew Brees is Giovanni Bernard. I think he really should have got it. Number 4 is Andy Dalton. It's pretty weird if you ask me. You have some good quarterbacks on here though. Alex Smith, Russell Wilson. RG3's a 99 overall. What? That is crazy. He's a 99. Yo, that is crazy. Okay, wow. I don't even know what to say about that. Ray Rice is a 99. Wow, this league is pretty crazy. Bill Belichick got the coach of the year. Whoa, I thought Marvin Lewis won the coach of the year. What's going on here? Okay, all right. Anyway, Mike Ditka, who came back and coached the Giants, led them to a 10-5 record and a playoff berth. So that is good. And you have Thomas Single, who is getting the most out of RG3, obviously. Let's take a look at the AFC now. Offensive Player of the Year, obviously, had to be Giovanni Bernard, at least for the AFC. He's going to be a beast. You guys, I can't wait to play with this guy in our new stadium. I'm trying to move through this series so fast so we can get to it. Let's move on, though. I'm only going to be showing you guys the top 8 for each, okay? So I hope you guys are okay with that. Defensive Player of the Year, Derek Johnson. I think he did very well last year as well. He's a 99. So kudos to that guy winning Defensive Player of the Year. Offensive Rookie goes to Johnny Football, who's an 86 overall. Then you have DeAnthony Thomas. These rookies are getting good very, very fast. So we have some, I'm showing the top 10 for the rookies, showing you guys which rookies did good. Wow, so Johnny Football, let's see the type of year he had when we look at the stats. Defensive Rookie of the Year, of course, EJ Gaines. I'm a little upset he fell just short of breaking the record, but I'm content because him and Dick Lane now share the record. So kudos to EJ Gaines. You had a spectacular year. Best QB, Tom Brady, Andy Dalton, number 2, who pulled it together in the late parts of the season. I'm very proud of him, but I'm still trying to get him re-signed. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. Let's go to best running back, Giovanni Bernard, of course. You guys know he's a beast. You have Ray Rice, Jamal Charles, Vereen, Chris Johnson, Darren McFadden, Stephon Ridley, and Arian Foster making the list as well. Wes Welker for the 2nd year in a row, no matter who's throwing to him, how good his team is doing, he will get his catches and do his numbers. So Wes Welker up there for number 1 on the best wide receiver in the AFC. So you also have Denarius Moore, Andre Johnson, Danny Amendola, Stevie Johnson, who I'm a big fan of, Dwayne Bowe, Antonio Brown, Demaryius Thomas, AJ Green is up there at number 9. Who's a 97. I'm so excited to have this guy for another couple of years. So best offensive lineman, Marshall Yanda. We're not going to go through all of these guys, though. We have Andre Smith and Kevin Zeitler on there for the best offensive lineman. Best defensive lineman goes to one of our very own, Carlos Dunlap. He had a very nice year this year. Got a lot of sacks. Michael Johnson up there as well. Sad to see him go to the Buccaneers in real life. I may trade him to the Buccaneers, though, just for a dash of realism. Best DB, of course, our 2 DBs are up there. Leon Hall, AJ Gaines. These guys are going to be beasts, assuming that Leon Hall can play for a couple of more years. Best kicker, I'm sure Zach Hawker isn't up there, but Matt Bryant. Who did we get? Bueller. We got Bueller last year. And he would not accept my contract, so I'm upset with that. And he's up here. Wow, with his new team. 88 overall. Wow, I wish he would have accepted my contract. Okay, now for the NFC, let's look at the offensive player. I knew that was going to be Adrian Peterson for the NFC. The MVP doesn't win that award, though. Defensive player of the year, Luke Kuechly. Trent Cole behind him. AJ Hawk. Like I said, I'm going to go through this quickly, so pause if you want to see the NFC people. So, offensive rookie of the year, C. Strunk. I have no idea how to say his name. Then you have Taylor Martinez, Taj Boyd, Bridgewater, Josh Huff, Stephen Morris. I don't know how he's up there when he doesn't even start. Let's keep going, though. Deontay Evans is up there for the Defensive Rookie of the Year, so he wins that award. Best QB, Drew Brees, of course. Best running back, Adrian Peterson, of course. Best wide receiver, Lance Moore. That's sort of weird, especially at an 81 overall. Then you have Andre Roberts, who's number 2, and he's only a 90. Where is Megatron? Megatron's all the way down here. That's sort of weird. Offensive lineman, Evans for the Saints. So maybe I'll see the Saints in the Super Bowl. That's what it's seeming like, if I can make it. Best defensive lineman, Jason Pierre-Paul. Anthony Spencer behind him. Best defensive back, William Moore. Then you have Terrell Brown, Morgan Burnett. Best kicker, Blair Walsh for the Vikings. Robbie Gould, Connor Barth, Alex Henry, and Garrett Hartley. So those are the awards. We're going to take a look at the Pro Bowl now. I'm trying to go through this quickly because I really don't want to put up another 40-minute episode. So we have Andy Dalton making his 3rd Pro Bowl of his 4-year career. So, kudos to you, Andy Dalton. Hold on, wait. Yeah. His 4-year. This is his 4th year that he's in right now. So his 3rd Pro Bowl of his 4 years, because last year he made it, this year he made it, and his rookie year he made it. Giovanni Bernard making his 1st Pro Bowl appearance. Let's see who else we have. The Patriots have tons of players, of course. Let's see. Mark Mariani made it as a wide receiver and not a kick returner. That's sort of weird. And then this is where it's going to get even more weird. We have all these offensive linemen. I don't understand why this is. Andrew Whitworth is there. Travell Wharton is there. We have 2 centers. No, I'm sorry. We have Trevor Robinson, Kevin Zeitler, and Andre Smith, Carlos Dunlap, Michael Johnson. Did Maluga make it? No, Maluga did not make it. Leon Hall, the Hall monitor, did not make it either. So EJ Gaines at least made it. And that's it for the Bengals. Let's take a look quickly at the NFC. Drew Brees, Matt Ryan, Aaron Rodgers, Adrian Peterson, Steven Jackson, Alfred Morris. I'm a really big fan of that guy. I actually got to see him play in person. He's a beast. Lance Moore, Andre Roberts. Those are the 2 surprise wide receivers, in my opinion, this year. Marcus Carlson, Brandon Marshall, Julio, Percy Harvin, Devin Hester, Vernon Davis, Jermichael Finley, Jimmy Graham. I said Jamie Graham, but then we're going to go to the offensive line. I'm going to sort of like scroll through this. Let's look at the left ends. Anthony Spencer, Calais Campbell, Jason Pierre-Paul, Bruce Irvin, Jordan Hill, Christian Ballard, Jonathan Babineau, Nick Perry. I have no idea how to say that. Paris, I'm assuming that's how you say it. Luke Kuechly, DeMeco Ryans, Trent Cole, Clay Matthews, Deontay Evans, Coy Graham, Terrell Brown, Aaron Colvin, Harrison Smith. I like that guy. Glad he made it. Malcolm Jenkins, William Moore, Luis Delmas, and Mason Crosby, and Steve Weatherford. So those are your 2014-15 Pro Bowlers. So I have to look at our season-ending stats, of course. Let's see how these Bengals actually did individually. So that should be interesting. And then we're going to take a look at our rankings as well for our team. So let's see how our team did. Andy Dalton, still broke 20 interceptions. 28 touchdowns, 20 interceptions. I think there is an upgrade to be had at the QB position. I mean, I want a guy like, I don't know, for example, let's just go to the Packers and see how Aaron Rodgers did. Oh, wow, he did even worse. That's weird. Let's look at Tom Brady. Still is up there with 17 interceptions. Let's look at Drew Brees. I'm just trying to make a comparison here. Like, that's good, but I don't want a guy that's going to throw like 20 picks, you know? So, I'm just saying, I want a guy like that. Since we're over here, let's look at how Manziel did. 18 and 18. He had to have a hell of a rushing year. 200, only one touchdown. Hey, I don't know. I don't know why they gave him that. I'm pretty sure some of the other finalists feel robbed. But let's just go back to us now. Let's go back to our team. That's what we were coming here to do. But yeah, Andy Dalton, I think I can get an upgrade, especially through the draft. A guy who's not going to pass the ball that much. So we did end up breaking the 2,000 mark for Giovanni Bernard. Averaged 5.8 yards per carry. Identical to that is Andy Dalton. So that's very good for the both of them. 400 rush yards for Andy Dalton. That is very good. That is very, very good. Giovanni Bernard hogged up all the running back carries. As you guys see, Ben Jarvis Green Ellis didn't really do anything this year. So kudos to you, Giovanni Bernard. You're nice. So we almost had a receiver break 1,000. Two receivers break 1,000 yards, but we have Anquan Bolden with 937. Then we have AJ Green with 1,085, 100 yards per game. Whoa, this guy, when he was playing, he averaged 127 yards per game. Wow. And then you have 377 by Giovanni Bernard. And then you have 648 by Eric Decker, who, I don't want to say he underachieved, but was the worst receiver. That doesn't mean he's bad at all, but the worst receiver out of the three that we have. And I may be wanting to move one of these guys just because I don't want to have like a ridiculous team. Like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't want to have like a super great team anymore. I'll talk about that later. But anyway, Sanu only had 215. Late in the season, it seemed like he had way more than that. And I mean, say I do decide to move Decker for a draft pick. Say I want to move up and get somebody like Blake Bortles. If I move somebody, it'll be Decker, and then I could just slide Mohamed Sanu into that spot, who's been playing well late in the season, and I'm sure he will in the playoffs too. So we'll see what happens. And plus, I feel like a lot of commentators have Eric Decker on their teams. Like, I swear, I've seen like 4 owner modes where the commentator has Eric Decker. He's really a fan favorite. And you have Ray Maluga almost getting 100 tackles on the season, leading us in tackles, I'm sure. Yeah, and then you have 16 tackles for loss, 1 sack. That's all, but he really stopped up that middle. He really did. Reggie Nelson, really a ball hawking safety. Got 3 picks and 84 tackles. Then you have Sean Williams right behind him with 70. Vontez with 69, who wasn't on the field that much because I had a lot of packages where I bring in a lot of corners like dime, and I also play quarter a lot. So EJ Gaines, 47 tackles, 7 for a loss. And then you have 15 interceptions, of course. How many touchdowns did he get? He had 7 deflections. That's very, very, very good. 1 forced fumble. Where's your touchdown? He had 1 touchdown. I think that was in the game versus the Broncos. Carlos Dunlap with 15 sacks. Michael Johnston with 10, Geno with 6, who will be walking in free agency. I'm so sad to hear that, but I'm still going to try to pursue him in the free agency, by the way. Christian Jones, who's been playing well, I think. Here are the other stats. CJ Mosley didn't see a lot of time, of course, but still did well on special teams. Peko actually lost his spot to Dominic Easley. So he definitely will see some more playing time if we do not land Geno in the free agency. So Drake Kirkpatrick, 2 tackles. A lot of players didn't even get a tackle this year. Let's look at Sam Hawker's numbers. 31 for 40. Not bad for a rookie. I mean, just saying, he's going to get better. 31 for 40, though, that's pretty good if you ask me. I want to see him add a little bit more range to that, though. Oh, actually, while I'm here, I'm going to quickly go through the league leaders. Let's go to the NFL. Well, actually, let's just look at our division. Who's the best in our division? So it looks like Joe Flacco was the best QB in our division. I'm sure Gio was the best running back. Of course he was. Let's look at the best receiver. Torrey Smith. Okay. Let's look at who had the most tackles. Lawrence Timmons. Who had the most sacks? I'm sure it was Dunlap. Terrell Suggs. You got to think he's going to retire soon. So he had 8 sacks this year. Definitely made a difference for this team, though. All right, let's go to the NFL now. Let's start with the passing statistics. Logan Thomas, you do not count, sir, because you only threw 400 yards. Colt McCoy, you don't count either. So best QB rating with guys more than 1 game under their belt is Drew Brees. He had an excellent year. Flacco, second in QB rating among QBs who actually threw for more than like 7 passes or something. And then you have Tom Brady right behind him. Andy Dalton right there too. Matt Ryan, Kaepernick, Glennon. Oh, I thought he started. He's still not starting. Let's see what RG3 did. 23 and 10 for RG. That's very good. Russell Wilson had a good year. Who threw for the most yards? I think it's Drew Brees. Then Brady. You think if one of these guys got the weapons that Andy had, they would just be having a ball. But Andy Dalton, of course, turns the ball over a lot. So let's look at the rushing statistics. Of course, he led in yards. Right behind him, Adrian Peterson. And you guys see his carries. I'm sorry. I'm totally sorry. His carries number is up there. 360, second in the league. You know, so this guy was our workhorse this season. So Giovanni Bernard with 19 rushing touchdowns. Sheesh, I didn't even know he did that. Wow, this guy's a beast. He's our future. Danny Amendola, 125 receptions. Wow. Brandon Marshall right there with 118. Lance Moore with 115. We had some really solid wide receivers in the league this year. I don't think you ever see this many receivers with over 1,000. Look at all these receivers with over 1,000 yards. You never see this. You never ever see this in the league. Let's move on to defense. We know who led the league in interceptions. Donald Butler almost nabbed 200 tackles. That's amazing. 3 sacks, 2 interceptions. He definitely played solid for his team. Luke Kuechly, as always, plays solid. Paul Posluszny, quietly, always plays solid. And then Stephen Tulloch getting towards the end of his career. Trent Cole on the same page. Levante David, one of those up-and-coming guys, too. Jonathan Vilma, playing for the Vikings now, got 150 tackles. So that's good for him. So let's look at the kicking. Who Wow, Matt Bryant went 44 for 44. Wow. That is very awesome. That's awesome. Let's see who had the best percentage. Blair Walsh is at 100 with 26 for 26. Wow, our guy's way down there. But these are the kickers that had good years. I'm trying to think of anything else I need to look at. I think that may be it. We could just look at EJ Gaines' name in the record book. But let me just talk to you guys about something really fast. I just want to talk to you about my off-season approach. I definitely want to do one thing this off-season. I want to get younger, you know, and I do have a dynasty, a possible potential dynasty. What am I even doing? I definitely have a potential dynasty in place with this offense and everything. But, whoa, wait. I misinformed you guys the whole time. 15 was the number we wanted to get in order to break Lane's record. EJ Gaines has the record with 15 interceptions. Dick Lane also did it as a rookie. I did not know that. That just excited me. Wow. So EJ Gaines does have the record. That's great. Wow. Hold on, just give me a second to think about all that. I didn't even know that. Let's take a look at our stories though. But when it says he's coach of the year, but he's not coach of the year. Wow, that's sort of crazy. That was a good game right here versus the 49ers. But, yeah, back to my off-season strategy. I want to get younger, and I also want to get rid of some of these pieces that I have that I picked up this off-season. They did pan out, but I don't want to be stacked, you know? I mean, I don't want to have a dominating team, you know, going forward. I want to give myself a challenge. So look for me to trade some of this talent I have on. Why the Ravens? Why the Ravens? I do not want to play the Ravens. Oh my God. It had to be one of the teams that beat us this year. Wow. Okay. Wow, dude. I always auto-progress my players. But, one thing I did not do. Well, let me just see where we're at with the stadium. One thing I didn't do is show you guys the progression and, like, how, show you guys how far the team has progressed this season. But as I go along, I'm going to look at, and I also didn't look at my players I didn't re-sign. So I need to show you guys that as well. So I'm missing a lot, actually. Andy Dalton is a 92. So let's say I franchise tag him and trade him during the draft. That would be an amazing move for me because I can get a pick and probably another player. So that's definitely something I may want to do. Let's look at the running back position. Giovanni is a 90. Chris Presley is an 86. So then we have a 97 in AJ Green, 88, and an 87 in Eric Decker. Like, that's just stacked. If Anquan does not retire, I think I want to keep him rather than Decker. I think I'm going to trade Decker during the draft. You see teams often move around their older pieces. Like, not talking about Eric Decker, but let's just say Anquan Bolden. You know, I may want to move him to get younger. Even though he played very solid for us. I think I only signed him to a 2-year deal, though. Tyler Eifert is an 88. And then we have Andrew Whitworth, who's getting up there in age, and an 83. Travell Wharton is a 33-year-old left guard who may retire. So we have some players who may retire this season. Anquan Bolden and Travell Wharton. Then we have Trevor Robinson, who we couldn't reach an agreement with either. Zeitler, Pro Bowler, 24 years old, so future is bright for him. Andre Smith, future is bright for him as well. Then we have an 85 overall in Carlos Dunlap. Michael Johnson is a 95. Wow. Then we have a 99, of course, in Geno Atkins. I just can't let him go. I'm going to try to get him into free agency. But yeah, I was thinking of doing things more Bengal-like and saving some cap as well. Because I was thinking about just drafting more players rather than signing players. Because the Bengals don't do that. And I went out and traded for Eric Decker and signed Anquan Bolden in the free agency. And that's not something we do. So I may end up trading one of those guys. You know? I don't know, man. I don't know. I just want to do things more Bengal-ish, because the Bengals don't go out and get players, they build through the draft. So I'm thinking about doing something more like that, you know. So I don't know, we'll see though, we'll see. 92 overall, Sean Williams. I did not know he was that good. Wow, I didn't know he was a 92. He is a beast. Okay, he did play well though. So Zach Hawker is an 80. Then we have Kevin Huber at an 82. So once I look at, you can't re-sign players. Let's look at the salary. I think you might be able to tell how much time people have on their contract. So let's look at who has 1 year. Okay, so we have Zach Hawker, who's a free agent. I'm going to have to re-sign him, of course. Humanui. I'm going to go ahead and let him go. We could fill that spot through the draft. Michael Smith, he played well in preseason. I may want to extend him for a very low price. Dexter McCluster, he's coming back, no question about it. I really have to get this guy back. Sam Hole, that was just a preseason signing. Orson Charles, oh good, I don't have to cut him. He only has 1 more year in the contract. Anquan Bolden, actually, I only signed him for 1 year. So I think I may let him walk. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, guys. We have a lot to do. Pat White, I think I'm going to keep him. I don't know, though. We'll have to see. Contract. Oh, years remaining. I'm not understanding. How is the... Okay, never mind. Okay, I get it. I'm tripping. Okay, so we're letting Terrence Newman go. We're letting Travell Wharton go. We're letting Ben Jarvis go. We're trying to get Trevor Robinson back, but I don't think he wants to come back. But let's just look at who has the most years remaining. AJ Green. We re-signed this guy. Total contract worth $95 million. I really broke the bank on this guy, because when we get a new quarterback who has a deep ball, he is going to flourish so much more. So then we have Michael Johnson, who we re-signed as well. We have him for 6 more. We re-signed Vontez this year, and he has 5 years. We also re-signed Raymond Luga. We're keeping this linebacker core intact. And then we have Pierre Lewis, who we drafted. Not sure he's going to pan out. So, I mean, I have some decisions to make. I'm going to be thinking about that a lot. So, I'm going to go ahead and get into this Ravens game, so you guys could go ahead and look out for that. And I'll see you guys in the next one later.